What's going on, guys? Welcome back to SOG. Guys, I had a fantastic day today. Beautiful Monday. Hope you guys had the same start to your week, a productive one. Um, yeah, crazy workout today, honestly. I hit chest tries, a little bit of shoulders. Started off kind of weak, but we pushed through it. The pump was insane. Whew, yeah, feels good, guys. Feels good. I hope you guys are in the gym too, grinding. That's key part of life, honestly. Once you get into it, there's no turning back. Um, and that actually, that's a good little segue to the topic of the video. Uh, Guys, I wanted to talk about how personal development's not for the weak. It's like, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's not for the weak. Personal development requires a level of hunger, passion, desire. Like, there needs to be a big fire inside of you that's burning, and it needs to be burning with enough fuel that it actually takes you far. Because reality is, guys, there's so many people that are motivated to go do personal development. They're motivated to change their lives. They're motivated to learn more. They're motivated to unlock new doors in their mind. But motivation isn't anything. It doesn't take you anywhere. Motivation is like flicking a lighter. That little flame that you get when you flick it, right? You see how long it lasts, and you see how big the flame is. That's motivation. You need far more than motivation to succeed in personal development, because there's one too many times in my own personal life, or online, whatever. I see people that indulge, they get started in personal development. They'll go for 1 week. They'll go for 2 weeks. They might even go for 3 weeks. But the second they start feeling a mental low, the second they start feeling a little lethargic, right? Some of their demons start chattering. They revert back to the old them, as if the last 3 weeks didn't provide any level of change or fulfillment or anything. Boom, back to the instant gratification they go. And I see this far too many times. And it's something that I went through too initially, like far, far back, like in the very early stages of my personal development journey, right? Like, one of the biggest things I struggled with was weaning off of porn. And that's such a insane addiction, right? Like, you can't even like fathom how bad of an addiction that is until you're actually in it. And not many people are so open to talk about it either. There's like, it's so ironic because there's such a nasty stigma attached to it, but at the same time, society says it's okay. Weird. But anyway, it took me a good 2 or 3 solid attempts for me to finally just be like, I am done. Like, there's nothing. Because, guys, the key thing, the key thing to understand is that the pain you are going through has to be far greater than the discomfort of personal development. Like, the pain you are currently trying to escape has to be far greater than the discomfort of the personal development you're going to undertake. And if that's not the case, you're not going to make it far. Like I said, I'll give you 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. If you're just like in a row, like, you know what I mean? You're in a roll, you're feeling good, you might go 3 weeks. But if that pain that you're escaping isn't greater than the discomfort you're willing to put yourself through initially for personal development, you're going to keep reverting back to your old self. It's going to be like this endless cycle. And if anything, the horrible part about it is you're going to feel like crap that you went back to the old you, even though you gave it a shot. The key thing, right, that I've learned when I was going through that I tried it once, failed, tried it twice, failed. Now I'm on my third time. Is that there was quite literally a link in my brain that was so like deeply rooted, right? It wasn't motivation. There was far more like fire behind what I was feeling to change myself. that I was willing to go through like the mental withdrawals of not like beating off and watching porn. That, right? Like I was basically at a point in my life where I said, I'd do anything, I would do anything to not feel that emptiness in my life ever again. And if that means quitting XYZ, then I'm going to quit XYZ regardless of how I'm feeling. Regardless of the withdrawals, regardless of the demons, whatever. And it sounds kind of drastic, but anybody who's gone through personal development to like the fullest extent knows this, right? Like you guys would be able to relate with me if you've been doing personal development for more than a month or two. The old you that you were so desperately trying to ditch became so unbearable to live as that you'd rather do anything to stay as that person. That's what I personally felt. So the key thing is, I keep saying the key thing as the thing to the thing to keep in mind is you got to be able to make that link within yourself that the person you're currently living as, right? The person you're currently living as who's overindulging in whether it's porn or video games or you're just being too lazy, right? You sleep too much, maybe you eat too much, maybe you don't even hit the gym at all, right? There's a number of things. Maybe you don't have the confidence to talk to either girls or make new friends or whatever, right? Whatever you're personally dealing with. It could be a number of things, it could be just one thing. It doesn't matter. This applies across the board is the pain of you suffering through that, right? In your mind and heart, you need to make it abundantly clear that that pain is not worth living through and that you're much rather willing to go through the discomforts of personal development to never revert back to this person that you are right now who's constantly trying to escape themselves. And that sounds so much easier said than done, and I honestly I'd agree because like I said, until that pain truly becomes unbearable in your life, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard for you to make those like links in your mind because at the end of the day, the things that you're using to escape are going to seem far more like pleasurable and far easier than the long-term route of personal development. So, it requires a strong will, guys. It really does. Personal development is really not for the weak. It's self improvement, whatever, right? It's the same thing that applies with the gym because you have your people that go to the gym. They make a resolution with themselves. They're like, I'm gonna either lose weight or maybe they were crazy skinny like me, and they were like, I'm gonna put on a bunch of muscle. They go for 1 week. They go for 2 weeks. Hell, they might even go for a month. They don't see the progress that they were anticipating in their mind. So they just give up and they go back home and they start doing whatever the hell they were doing before. Right? Maybe they're just like at home playing video games 12 hours a day and just like smoking a bunch and like eating a bunch of garbage. Because they're like, that 1 month I invested just didn't come out the way I wanted it to. That's fairly similar to personal development. It's not going to take just 1 month, guys. It's going to take years and years and years and years. I'm 1 year into personal development and I am literally just getting started. I feel like I've learned so much, yet there's so much more to go and learn. I'm like, it's unbelievable, right? Like now that my like awareness is like peaking more and more, I'm like, yo, this is like what I've learned this past year, as significant as it has been, and I've had the amazing ability or the amazing opportunity, I should say. I've had the amazing opportunity to have some really powerful conversations with certain people and help them change their lives around. I'm still very much aware of how I am just getting started in this path, on this journey. And every single day that goes by, I do feel like I'm leveling up and I'm putting one step forward. And with that, I'm also quite comfortably aware of how I've quite literally just hit the tip of the iceberg. And so I can't get complacent. Nor do I plan on getting complacent. I can't, you know what I mean? It would be easy for me to be like, oh, 1 year of personal development, I've dedicated so much of my life to improving myself and yada, yada, yada. now I'm going to go back and do all the things that the old me was doing. No, that would completely defeat the purpose. But like I said, I when I told myself that the pain of living as that empty shell of a person that I was living of was completely unbearable and I'd rather do anything else than live as that person, that that fire in me is still lit to this day, just as bright. There might be days, right? Like they're not even might be. There are days. There are days when I wake up and I feel like I'm in a slump. There are days in a row. I've even gone through 1 or 2 weeks in a row where I feel like I'm in a slump. But like I said, the thing that keeps pushing me forward instead of like reverting back to the old habits is that key thing where the old pain was is far too unbearable and the old me is far too unbearable to live as, that I'd much rather push through the 2 week slump continuing this personal development than reverting back to the instant gratifications and using those coping mechanisms again and turning back into the old me. So, this is not meant to scare anybody, right? This is just me being completely transparent. Because if I had the ability to just snap everybody out of it and say, you need to do personal development, oh my God, I would be doing that every day, right? Like, I wouldn't even care about, yeah, like, that would become my life's purpose, is just going around snapping everybody out of it if I just had the instant ability to do it. But that's not how it works. You know, I can talk about any of these things about personal development, all the things that I personally learned and went through and continue and will continue to learn. But at the end of the day, like it has to be internal. It has to come inside of you. Like that drive, that desire to be more, become more, live more has to come inside of you. And watching videos like this are going to be helpful. Obviously, I still to this day still watch other people, like, influences in this sphere. And I like still learn from them. I'm growing from them, but that wouldn't be the case unless I had this fire inside of me that's like, yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. So, yeah, guys, it's not meant to scare you, but it is meant to shed some light that it's not as easy as some people make it seem, right? Like, you're just not going to wake up one morning and be like, personal development sounds nice. Yeah, like, no, it's going to take dedication, and it's going to take discipline, and it's going to take your mind and heart's commitment to be able to put a lot of BS in your life aside, even your friends' opinions, your family's opinions, whatever it may be, all aside, and truly just focus on yourself and your grind and your development, and you're going to start seeing a whole different side of you come out. Like, I'm talking, you're like, you know what I mean? Like, you're the person that you envision in your mind as your ideal character. You're going to start seeing that person start to come to fruition. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, it is possible. It is possible. It just takes a lot of time and energy, but it's very possible. And it's worth every single second of that time and energy. So, that's it. That's all for today, guys. The next video I'm going to get a little more in depth about the personal development journey that I went through, like I mentioned in the last video. But I just wanted to make a quick little, video on this topic because it's been in my mind, and especially because whenever I go through a mental low, I think about this all the time. Like, I'll go through a mental slump and it'll hit me and I'll be like, no, hold on a second. Like, yeah, I signed up for this, and I've been fully committed to this for a year, and it's not going anywhere. So, that's about it, guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification for further uploads. I will be back very soon here. I'm gonna start doing a consistent posting schedule because, to be honest, like, I've just been, yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna say any excuses. Like, I just haven't done it, and I know I need to do it. So, just hang tight, guys. I'm gonna start posting more consistently here and start putting out more information about personal development and guiding you guys on a better path. So, hope you guys have a great start of your week, guys. Crush it this week. Let's go.